It's strong. So look at this monster cup here. That is my wife's cup, but she decided I should have that today for my little lunch package here, because today is a special day. Today is 1 year ago exactly since I did the first podcast with Ben, actually, my the singer from my cover band, or his cover band. Let's be honest, it's his band. I'm just the mere soldier slave who's playing drums and Wonderwall when we are performing live. We actually had this really cool gig not long ago. We played at a wedding where the bride came up and played along to Killing in the Name. Really, really awesome clip. I'll put the link in the comments. But anyway, back on track. The last 6 months has been pretty daunting, to be honest. In about November, I made the decision to give up completely my previous occupation, selling houses, which again has been what I've been doing for the last 8 years. It's something I've been extremely comfortable doing, but it was something that was just driving me into a very, very dark place. I was working heaps. There's a lot of stress at work. It was 100% commission, so if you didn't sell anything, you wouldn't get paid anything. And obviously, it had its good times. When you have your good run, you make lots of money. When you don't make any at all. So I realized during the whole COVID lockdown last year, which is about a year ago now, that I needed to reconnect to music. And it happened sort of by accident, because it happened as something that was, again, born out of the COVID lockdown here in Perth. And I spent the first 2 weeks finding out about how to do everything, setting up live stream, working out OBS, which is an online free online platform, software that you can download and use for live streaming. And then I just started reaching out to friends that would chat to me about music. And Ben, the singer from my cover band, or his cover band, was the first one I spoke to a year ago today. So I've realized in November, when I made that decision, I decided to start recording a bunch of the songs that I've written over the last year and a half, songs that has been extremely beneficial to me to sort of cope with some of the stress and some of the dark times I've had in the last year and a half to 2 years. So back in November, I reached out to a guy in Sweden, a guitarist and producer and songwriter called Tommy Denander, who has worked with Alice Cooper. He's worked with Paul Stanley, Anastasia. He's worked with a lot of top tier names, and he offered to play guitar and help me co-produce the album. So over the last 6 months, I've used that as another outlet to sort of stay connected to music. But then I realized I only really want to record this to get my songs out. I don't want to go out and tour the world, and got absolutely no dreams of becoming a band or a solo artist. I just want to have fun with that at home. Write my songs. Go home and drink my drink my weaponized coffee here, and hang out with my family, because that's what I enjoy. But I needed that as a gateway to try and tie my songs in, to try and learn how to promote it online. Because ultimately, my long-term goal is to build a community, build like an online platform, an online entity where bands can get a lot more exposure and can ultimately make money off the music, because that's what everybody struggles with. That's what I realized, doing all these podcast episodes, talking to bands that all had the same problem. And that problem was we don't know how to make money off our music. They all knew how to spend money. They all knew how to go into a studio and buy 5 guitars and drink a lot of beers at gigs where they aren't getting paid anything. So how do you improve the cash flow? How do you be smarter with your investment, or be smarter with at least the money that you set aside to promote your songs? So I decided to use my songs as a guinea pig for my songs to try and learn and get better at putting songs in front of the right crowd, the right audience, but collaborating with guests I've had on the podcasts, to try and promote them and their music. So I can promote my songs, but using them as an entity, as a collaborator on that song to try and get it out. And as a way of doing that, I thought, look, I need to create a label, because if I have a label, I would then ultimately also have the opportunity to put these bands on my label and help promote them actively, full time. And that's what I'm working on now. So come here now a year later. I'm here. I am pretty much done with all the bass tracking for my album. I'm in the midst of setting up the label, setting up a couple of other small entities that will help push both my songs and everybody I'll be collaborating with on my label to try and push that out. But it's been so emotional, because like I said, I haven't made any money this year, but I've spent a lot. I've spent a lot of money, getting this studio set up. I spend money hiring some people that are helping me build the social media platforms, and getting more outreach. Building the framework that will ultimately help this take off. But it's so incredibly stressful to wake up having to realize that this is something I have to do. I understand that. I said I cannot not do this. I cannot go back to sell houses, because that made me, even like I said, there was a lot of money involved when you were successful, but it was something that was, again, still had a cap, because I was constantly trading my time for money. And again, ultimately something that took all my time away from my family, doing something I wasn't passionate about. I don't mind if I have to trade my time for money if it's something I'm really passionate about. And money, to be honest, is secondary, as long as you can obviously pay your bills, as long as you can put food on the table and feed your kids. So again, I got to look after my 3 kids and my wife, because she's not working. She's looking after them. Especially, I've mentioned this on many other podcasts, but we have a son who's got a very special chromosome variant. So he's very special. He's got his own set of skills and own set of tasks that we need to cater for. And she has her struggle with that, because again, it's a daunting task. So really, it's all about finding that balance, and sometimes that balance is hard. As long as you show up, as long as you keep grinding. I know I can do this. I know I can do this 100%. But same as everybody else, I have my doubts. I got my bad days where it feels like, I feel like a failure. I feel like it's tough. But then you wake up the next day, or you remind yourself, you look in the mirror and you go like, hey, remember what you signed up for. Everything takes time. And without patience, it's going to be a long haul. So I got to remind myself to be patient, to appreciate where I'm at, to appreciate what I've done. And more importantly, to believe in the journey, to believe in what lies ahead. So on this special day, on the 15th of April 2021, I am where I'm at. Drum covers booked in every Tuesday. We'll have the first podcast scheduled up for later this week. We'll have podcasts coming multiple times a week for the next, probably at least the next month. I'm going to start meeting up with people here. I've got my first live podcast booked in here next week. More and more stuff is going to happen in the background. Like I said, I just need to catch up. I've already hit the ground running, but I feel like I can't run that fast yet. So I'm catching up, but I'm looking forward to it. And if you're watching this and you've watched this far and you've listened this far, thank you. I really, really appreciate you being here. And I hope you'll stick along for the journey, because we've only just begun. I promise you that. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will have another update for you very soon. Thank you.